GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. Construction crews are winding down for their summer break, and the REM hiccup between Panama and Central kept commuters waiting, while La Salle's Cameroonian community celebrates its 12th Cultural Day. Weather's mild, traffic, moving with some lane closures. Over to you, Ryan.
The Cameroonian community gathered in La Salle for their 12th annual Cultural Day, featuring traditional music and dance performances earlier this week.
Over 3,000 attendees enjoyed authentic cuisine, craft displays, and storytelling sessions throughout the day, celebrating Cameroonian heritage proudly.
The event was organized by the Association of Cameroonian Canadians in Montreal, supported by local businesses and community volunteers.
All right, let's get into it. The celebration highlighted the community's 12th annual Cultural Day in La Salle earlier this week. Good morning, Montreal. Construction crews at the Udall Descarrières site in Le Plateau Mont-Royal are set to wind down work as the scheduled summer vacation for construction workers begins tomorrow. The 2-week pause, running from July 19th through August 1st, follows the island-wide tradition of shutting down most sites for a summer holiday. Only a handful of projects will remain active while the majority of crews take the break. Workers will pause excavation, concrete pouring, and site cleanup, with the expectation that activity resumes in early August. The pause is part of a coordinated effort to give laborers a rest and to align with municipal guidelines that see most construction on the island pause for the season. Residents can expect quieter streets around the site during the break. Local cafes and shops nearby anticipate a slower foot traffic flow, while cyclists may enjoy a clearer path along the adjacent BIXI lanes.
Festivities are in full swing in La Salle as the Cameroonian community marks its 12th annual Cultural Day. Organized by Shemba Samuel and the Ngok Tungia Cultural Association, the weekend-long event runs today and tomorrow, inviting families to experience music, dance, and traditional cuisine from Cameroon. Stalls line the streets with vibrant fabrics, handmade crafts, and the scent of grilled fish seasoned with native spices. Performers showcase folk drumming and lively dances that draw crowds from across the island. Organizers say the celebration aims to highlight the community's diversity and share the richness of Cameroonian heritage with neighbors. Children participate in storytelling sessions, while local chefs offer tasting menus that blend familiar flavors with authentic recipes. The festival underscores the growing tapestry of cultures that enrich the neighborhood and the city at large.
Calgary Stampeders are set to welcome the Montreal Alouettes for the second game of the 2026 CFL season today in Alberta. The regular season showdown offers a chance for the Alouettes to seek revenge after their earlier meeting, while the Stampeders aim to solidify a strong start on home turf. Both clubs will travel with a full roster, and league officials expect a competitive atmosphere at McMahon Stadium. Fans in Calgary can anticipate a lively crowd, with tickets already selling briskly. The matchup also serves as a key early test for each team's new coaching strategies and player acquisitions. Kickoff is scheduled for early afternoon, and the broadcast will be available on national television and streaming platforms. The game will also feature a halftime performance by a local Calgary band, adding extra excitement for spectators.
Westmont's mayor faced a formal citation yesterday after the Quebec Municipal Commission identified 7 alleged ethics breaches. The commission's report details accusations of disrespectful language and uncivil conduct directed at city officials and staff members. The citation was issued at 6:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Friday, and it marks the latest in a series of oversight actions aimed at reinforcing accountability among municipal leaders. The Commission's mandate includes investigating complaints, issuing findings, and recommending disciplinary measures where warranted. The Commission, which oversees ethical standards for elected officials across the province, said the violations stem from interactions that fell short of expected professional behavior. City Council members are expected to review the citation and determine any further actions in accordance with municipal regulations. Residents of the affluent enclave will be watching closely as the council deliberates possible repercussions for the mayor's conduct.
The REM line between Panama and Central stations came to a standstill yesterday afternoon, leaving riders stranded for more than 3 hours. The outage began at 16:48 and persisted until well after 1940, according to the operator. Officials said a technical fault triggered the shutdown, prompting crews to work around the clock to restore service. The shutdown impacted dozens of scheduled trains, affecting thousands of commuters who rely on the line for daily travel between the western suburbs and the city center. Panama Station serves St. Laurent, while Central is a downtown transfer point linking the REM to the metro. During the interruption, passengers were advised to seek alternative transit options, including bus routes and the metro, as the Metropolitan Express network links downtown with surrounding boroughs. The operator confirmed that normal operations resumed shortly after the repairs were completed, and no injuries were reported. We'll hear how a Montreal artist is turning a historic barn into a night sky mural honoring Black heritage. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. Here, what's on the agenda this morning? Traffic updates, weather outlook, and a quick look at today's top headlines before we turn to Ryan Mercer.
Artist Stina Bodden began work this morning on a sweeping night sky mural painted across the roof of a 19th-century barn tucked in the eastern townships. The project, slated for completion by late summer, will use deep blues and speckled stars to echo the region's largely unrecorded Black heritage that traces back to the 19th century. Bodden hopes the striking ceiling will become a visual reminder for anyone passing through the countryside, inviting families and weekend travelers from the city to pause and consider a chapter of local history that rarely appears in school books. The barn, a preserved agricultural landmark, offers a rare canvas that blends rural architecture with contemporary art, turning a quiet farming scene into a public tribute that could inspire similar community projects across the province. Local cyclists will also spot the mural from the popular trail.
Collège de Montreal faces a lawsuit filed today by a former student alleging multiple sexual assaults by a member of its staff. The complaint claims the staff member used their position to exploit students, leading the plaintiff to seek damages and institutional accountability. College officials have not yet responded publicly, and the case is now under judicial review. Legal experts note that the suit could prompt broader scrutiny of safety protocols at French-language post-secondary institutions across the province. The plaintiff says the assaults occurred while attending the college, and the lawsuit seeks both compensation and changes to prevent future incidents. As the matter proceeds through the courts, students and families are watching closely for any updates on the college's response and any potential policy reforms. The legal filing remains active, and the college has indicated it will cooperate with any investigation.
Yesterday, the New Democratic Party announced its 2 candidates for the federal by-elections on Montreal Island. Pierre Serre, a longtime community organizer, and Nima Machouf, a former municipal councillor, secured the party's nominations after a brief internal vote. Both will contend for seats opened after recent resignations in the House of Commons, meaning voters will head to the polls later this year. Party officials said the selections aim to bring fresh perspectives to federal debates, and they highlighted each candidate's experience with affordable housing initiatives and local business development. The nominations mark the first time the NDP has fielded a slate on the island in a by-election cycle, adding another option for residents as the campaign season ramps up. Voters will receive further information on candidate meetings and voting locations in the weeks ahead.
Last Saturday, officials confirmed that 107 cases of cyclospora infection were reported across Quebec, marking a rise of 77 cases compared with the same period last year. The parasite, spread through produce irrigated with contaminated water, triggers diarrheal illness that can linger for several days. Authorities noted the uptick underscores thorough washing of fruits and vegetables, especially those eaten raw. While no fatalities have been linked to the recent cases, doctors warned that vulnerable individuals, such as the elderly and those with weakened immune systems, may experience more severe symptoms. The Provincial Health Agency continues to monitor the situation and urges anyone experiencing prolonged gastrointestinal distress after eating fresh produce to seek medical evaluation. Cyclospora is a microscopic parasite that inhabits intestinal tract and spreads when irrigation water taints surface of fruits or leafy greens. Health messages stress that cooking vegetables thoroughly, feasible, can kill the organism.
Yesterday, the Quebec government revealed a fresh redevelopment plan for the Olympic Stadium, the iconic Big O that still dominates the city skyline. The proposal calls for a comprehensive overhaul, targeting structural upgrades, modernized seating, and a new roof system to finally resolve the long-standing leak problems. Officials say the project will replace the patchwork fixes that have been attempted since the venue was built for the 1976 Summer Games. Funding will come from a mix of provincial grants and private partnerships, with an eye toward making the arena viable for concerts, sports, and community events. The announcement follows years of stalled renovations and public frustration over safety concerns. Construction crews are expected to begin work in the coming months, aiming to deliver a fully functional facility before the next major international event.
Now let's check in with our weather team for the latest outlook across the city.
A fast western jet is dragging an unsettled trough toward Montreal, setting the stage for a damp afternoon. On this date, the all-time high reached 31.1 degrees Celsius in 2020, a brief spike during a late summer heat wave that pushed the city into the mid-30s for a short spell. The all-time low stands at 14 degrees Celsius, recorded in 2014 when an Arctic air mass slipped southward and blanketed the region with snow-like chill. By contrast, the 30-year normal hovers around 24 degrees for the maximum and 15 for the minimum, underscoring today's modest start. The live radar paints a band of mid-level rain moving eastward across the southern suburbs. Echoes are strongest just west of the St. Lawrence and are being pushed by the strong western jet at 160 kilometers per hour. The system will sweep over downtown by 9 o'clock, peak intensity around 11, then taper off through the early evening. By 6 o'clock, the radar will be quiet, leaving only scattered clouds behind. At 7 this morning, Montreal sits under a thick overcast with a temperature of 17 degrees, humidity 73%, and a gentle southerly breeze of 8 kilometers per hour. Pressure is near average but falling, signaling that the western jet stream, racing at 160 kilometers per hour, is ushering a moist trough into the province. That upper-level momentum forces lift on the low-level air, generating the light rain that will begin around 9 and intensify to drizzle by noon. Temperatures will climb steadily, reaching a high of 28 degrees in the early afternoon before slipping back to 21 as clouds thicken toward sunset. The UV index registers 7, and no weather alerts are in effect. With the rain window closing by early evening, we now turn to the 5-day outlook. Saturday brings a cooler start with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 15, while a lingering trough delivers overcast skies and a 75% chance of rain. Sunday will see the clouds retreat, allowing sunshine to dominate and temperatures rising to 24 degrees, matching the low of 15. Monday repeats the 24-degree maximum under a blanket of clouds, keeping the day overcast but dry. Tuesday shifts back toward moisture as the jet stream nudges another low northward, producing a high of 23 degrees, a low of 18, and a 55% rain probability. Wednesday caps the week with another rain system, delivering a high of 23 degrees, a low of 16, and a 45% chance of showers. The pattern highlights a mid-week wet spell sandwiched between brief dry intervals. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunrise is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic's tight with lane closures, the Roses edged Halifax tides, and Kawa Cafe opens downtown. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Northbound traffic through the Louis-Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel is closed, with contraflow shifted to the southbound tube. Drivers heading downtown will need to use the alternate route via Rue Saint-Laurent and the Ville-Marie Expressway. On the Claimant Bridge, one of 2 lanes remains shut for beam repairs, leaving a single lane each direction and a short queue at the approach. The overpass reconstruction near Highway 520 forces traffic onto a narrowed 2-lane corridor, so expect slower speeds and occasional stop and go. Between Gouin and Henry Bourassa Boulevards, 2 of 4 southbound lanes are closed for public works, leaving only 2 lanes open. Cavendish Boulevard overpass work continues with multiple lane closures and detours, adding extra time for east-west commuters. Truck traffic is prohibited on Pont Honoré-Mercier, so heavy vehicles must divert to the Champlain Bridge. All transit services are operating normally, and most other routes are clear for the morning commute.
First up, the MLS showdown at Saputo Stadium. Inter Miami faces CF Montreal tonight. A must-watch for soccer fans hoping to see the home side push for a playoff spot. Next, Cirque du Soleil unveils its newest production, Echo, under the Grand Chapiteau in the Old Port, delivering the breathtaking acrobatics and storytelling that only the world-renowned troupe can provide. If you're craving beats under the sky, Cascade takes the stage at Parc Jean Drapeau's Jardin Le Petit Prince, promising an electronic dance set that will keep the summer vibe alive. For a laugh, the Just for Laughs live sessions film a stand-up showcase at the Comedy Nest, giving you a preview of the festival's hottest acts. Looking ahead, J. Cole lands at the Bell Center next week, and Ariana Grande follows at the end of the month, so keep those tickets ready. And the Fantasia Genre Film Festival continues its screenings across Concordia, perfect for a night under the stars. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Montreal sports making noise on the pitch and looking ahead on the ice. The Montreal Roses picked up a hard-fought 1-0 win over the visiting Halifax Tides in Northern Super League play. Substitute Chloe Menas was the difference maker, stepping up to convert a penalty in the 77th minute to seal the victory, according to CBC Sports Soccer. The Montreal Roses are strengthening their squad with 2 high-profile international signings. The club announced the additions of Marie-Yasmine Aladou and Yves Perisset, both described as players with significant international pedigree. CBC Sports Soccer reports the deal was confirmed earlier this month. Mark your calendars, Habs fans. The 2026-27 NHL season opens September 29th with an all-Canadian doubleheader. The Montreal Canadiens will head to Toronto to face the Maple Leafs on opening night, with Edmonton hosting Vancouver in the nightcap, per CBC Sports NHL.
Kawa Cafe, now open on St. Catherine Street West in downtown Montreal, brings its famously generous sandwiches to the heart of the city. The family-run shop, celebrated for layers of fresh meats, cheeses and house-made sauces, has moved from its modest corner to a bright, street-level space perfect for students rushing between classes, office workers grabbing a midday bite, and tourists exploring the downtown core. The new location adds a cozy seating area and a small coffee bar, creating a community hub where locals can pause and chat. In a city that thrives on culinary creativity, Kawa Cafe reminds us that a well-made sandwich can still be a neighborhood's comfort food. And now a note. The Cameroonian community celebrates its 12th annual Cultural Day in La Salle, bringing music and joy.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on gmna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
From the early light spilling over St. Laurent Boulevard, I'm looking toward the east where the town of St. Julien awakens to the hum of construction trucks. This weekend, a group of local builders gathered at the community center, laptops open, to test a new Quebec-born mobile app called Batiprix. The app pulls real-time price lists from dozens of hardware suppliers, letting a carpenter in a faded denim shirt scroll through steel beams, drywall and paint, instantly seeing which store offers the best deal. One vivid moment stood out. Marie, a third-generation owner of a family-run lumberyard, watched a young couple compare pine planks on the screen. Within minutes, the couple chose a nearby supplier offering a modest discount, and Marie's smile widened as she realized the app connected shoppers to the right price while keeping her business in the conversation. Contractors report saving enough on materials to allocate extra funds towards safety training, and suppliers say the transparency is sparking friendly competition. It's a reminder that a simple tool can lift an entire community, one price check at a time. We'll keep watching how technology nurtures our local trades.
On St. Laurent Boulevard near the historic Plateau, the Société de l'Assurance Automobile du Québec set up an unexpected guardian of the road. A polished black hearse perched on a temporary island, its doors painted bright orange and its windows flashing a gentle, rotating message, "Drive safe." Local cyclists, a group of high school students from a nearby school, and a handful of retirees gathered around, handing out coffee cups and stickers that read "Every Life Matters." As rush hour traffic rolled by, drivers slowed, craned their heads, and many rolled down windows to share a brief, collective smile with the volunteers. One mother, clutching her toddler, whispered a thanks that rippled through the crowd, turning a somber symbol into a moment of shared care. By the end of the hour, the hearse had become a beacon of community resolve, reminding commuters that the summer construction pause need not be a time of loss, but a chance to pause and protect one another. It's moments like these that show how a city can look out for each other, mile after mile.
Thanks for watching, Montreal. Tonight's highlight was the night sky mural honoring Black heritage. What a beautiful tribute. We also thank our community partners for their support. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you. Stay safe, stay curious, and see you bright and early on the local sunrise.